Hey everybody, this is Jeff Wilson, and this is my next vlog in conjunction with my podcast that I started making. Honestly, at this point, back last September. So I have honestly put off a lot of these little details. I'm trying to figure out how to launch the podcast, and I want to make this vlog to be very very close to what I'm putting into the podcast. The podcast will be something that I put a little bit more depth into it, and these vlogs be a little bit shorter. But 'cause, I'm sure not a zillion people want to right now watch me just talk on the screen. In the future, I'll probably do more of that, but anyway, today's focus for the podcast, we're going to go over a few things. So I'm going to I talked about this in vlog number one. If you haven't listened or watched my vlog podcast, then please do so. I talk about starting my like I talk a little about my health journey. I reference personal training biz, and so I own a personal training business, and it's now closing in on about close to gosh yeah, 9 months right now. And I own a run coaching business, totalbodyrunning.com. Check it out. And I'm in the middle of finishing my personal training business website, fitforlife365.com. The numbers are the actual numbers in there. But I'm going to talk for a moment here about taking over that business back in May. It was about May 15th or 16th. And I'll talk a little bit about my goals and, how the business is going now, where things are at, but yeah, and then my goals for the future. So I had a friend reach out to me in the like May 10th range saying like, hey, are you training anybody? And I just decided like a couple weeks before, maybe 3-4 weeks before that at the most, to start working with clients again. And I was just going to start working in apartment gyms out in the spring and summer, beautiful Colorado Springs area, just out in the parks. And so I just gotten my first client, kind of starting again. Again, I have my running business, but where I work with a lot of people remotely or some of them in person. But with that said, I wanted to build, somewhere around 5 or 6 clients just on my own, driving to people's houses and just work off of that. And that helped me pay my bills to build my running business. I'll do separate videos and stuff on that, but I had originally made that decision, and then when I got to my friend's house a couple days after he reached out, he had a list of people. He had all these names and numbers and pricings and all stuff. And he's like, "Hey, I'm taking a job in somewhere on the East Coast, and I need to either have somebody buy out this business or just take it over and take it as is." So long story short, I took it as is. I basically decided like 2 hours later. It was the last week of this. I teach a couple classes at a university and I coach at a university with cross country and track. And so those jobs were just finishing up for the semester. And I had a pretty open summer. I mean, I was thinking about just getting a part-time job someplace too to help pay for bills. And so this popped in my lap, and it was just like, geez, there's a prayer answered. It wasn't in the exact way that you would envision it, because I ended up training like a few $1,000s of sessions for free, which a lot of people are like, whoa, like what in God's name are you doing? And I thought that too a little bit, but it was either buy them out with a loan and pay interest or do this. And I was like, I had other people that were paying me weekly. And so it's just like, all right. And honestly, some were cash. So I was like, okay, I'm not getting fees from PayPal and all that stuff. It's like, all right, let's figure this out. I think I can make this work. So the first 2-3 months were pretty tough. Then things, I didn't sleep a whole lot over the summer, mostly just because of anxiety. I didn't have like a zillion clients. I was working like, 16, 17 sessions a week or so. Maybe a little bit more up front. It might have been closer to 20 on some weeks because there was quite a few clients right off the bat. And I've gained a few since then, lost a couple, but everybody at least re-signed one time, and now I'm moving more towards a monthly recurring revenue, and that's from the majority of my clients at least, and that's been helping out a lot to kind of envision, seeing where my next month is gonna or what it's gonna look like. What can I expect? What do I need to do? And honestly, overall, this is just a blessing. I feel so. I just feel so blessed that this happened, and it's a few months down the road, and I've been pretty stagnant. I'm still at about 14, 15 sessions a week, with a little ebb and flow of certain clients. But I'm about to launch my website, like I mentioned, fitforlife365.com. You can check out my Facebook page, the link's below. and I'm starting to hit this stuff hard. A few months ago when I started this podcast, there was a lot of things I wasn't ready for, and I'll talk about some of those things too in this podcast. But anyway, so that's where I was going in. I definitely I've been in a lot of debt. I mean, I still got about $86,000 to pay off. 84 something of it is school. Between these videos and now, my car got stolen. I've had to deal with that for a bit. A lot of stress and anxiety. So that's partial reasons, not great excuses, but partial reasons why I'm now just getting back to these things. So anyway, my goals overall, my goals for this business, I really want this to be taken both, not just in personal training in Colorado Springs, one-on-one groups, stuff like that, and not just, working with runners online, but I truly want to make an online presence and a community presence. I want to be the go-to personal trainer in Colorado Springs, maybe even Colorado. I mean, Denver and Fort Collins and Boulder are, all hour and a half, 2 hours north, but and they're big cities. It'd probably take me a decade to get to that point, but the way to do that, as far as a media perspective, like a social perspective, is through online social media. So I want to grow a business, with my site being the hub, and using, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at some point, podcasts, and YouTube like crazy. That's probably my number one. And I want to talk about a lot of different things. Like, I want to be the go-to guy at the very least. I want to be the go-to guy in Colorado Springs, and this surrounding area, Manitou, Woodland Park, Fountain, Peyton, all that stuff. I would love to be one of those people on YouTube that they go to think, oh, that Jeff Wilson guy, yeah, he, lives a healthy lifestyle. I just saw a video about, the keto diet, the ketogenic diet, and why it's good, why it's bad, stuff like that. Like, I want to be somebody that's producing content on things that people want to know. And it's not just for people that want to lose weight. It's not just for people that do sports performance. It's, like right now I'm going to generalize things. So there you go. I'm not going to be one of those guys that here's my niche and that's it. Because there's some other things that I'll get into about my thyroid, stuff in my health journey. And eventually I'll want to specialize in and help people with autoimmune diseases. So that's something I'm definitely going to do in the future. But for now, it just doesn't make sense to focus on that. I don't have the right certifications or education, but I'm getting there. I'm learning a lot. And one of my next vlogs will be on my current status. Just had another doctor's visit yesterday with the amazing Dr. Aaron Williams. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'll have some future videos talking about my degrees and certifications. I just kind of obviously just touched on that. Ooh, sorry, it's getting a little fuzzy. I gotta figure that out. Anyway, all my goals for this is to be, that guy. And I already I'm a product of the product. I eat healthier than probably you do or anybody else that does. Within reason, you might find a couple people. Of course, there's other people online. That's how you're seeing me. You'll probably see some of those. And I've had to really learn a lot. I've been a runner my whole life. I used to be a human garbage disposal, and with thyroid issues, I have Hashimoto's. It's driven me over the years to get to a certain point, and I've never really gotten better. It's derailed my running career, and so this personal training business is like my opening, at least this is how it feels. It's like, okay, here's my platform to talk about not only just my journey and how that could potentially help other people hearing that my journey and going, oh, hey, I'm in the same spot, but eventually we want to help people just live better lifestyles. So my goal is to help people and inspire people, motivate people to not just get up off the couch and go do a bunch of squats. That's a big piece. I'm huge on fitness, love fitness. That's why I'm a personal trainer. But I want to talk about food. I want to talk about how to do certain exercises. I want to talk about habits and mindset. I want to talk about more than just fitness. So if this is something that interests you, please subscribe to my channel. I'll have both websites kind of integrated into my YouTube channel and have just different titles for things. But please don't hesitate to reach out to me and join my email list for fitforlife365.com, and you'll get updates and you'll be able to see when I upload something if you don't, you haven't subscribed to me yet or something like that. So thank you for watching and have a great day.